What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and we have a quite surprising story for you guys because Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp are interested in buying the Aston Villa midfielder John Mcginn, who had a pretty decent Euros. If you watched the Scotland games, especially against England, John Mcginn had a really good performance. So we will talk in detail about this story and also many other Liverpool related news stories. But first of all, let me know, what did you think of the Germany-Hungary game at the Euros? I'm still absolutely buzzing after that game. Even though Hungary went out, we were just 6 minutes away from qualifying to the knockout stages. Hungary are one of the stories of the Euros, and this group of death will be remembered for a long time. I already made a video, you have to watch that, on that game, where you can see the Fanzone celebrations that we had here in Budapest. It was absolute mayhem when Hungary scored. So Liverpool, according to the Athletic newspaper, remain interested in John Mcginn because he had a really good season with Aston Villa. And of course, when Aston Villa beat Liverpool 7-2, many people took notice of the Aston Villa squad, and in particular John Mcginn. And Greg Evans and James Pearce, two journalists working for the Athletic, are saying that the day after Aston Villa thrashed Liverpool 7-2 last October, the two players, so Andy Robertson of Liverpool and John Mcginn of Aston Villa, met up for Scotland duty, and they discussed that astonishing game at the Villa Park as well as Jurgen Klopp's comments. It later emerged that some of Liverpool's players were particularly impressed with John Mcginn as well, and Liverpool have been linked with Florian Neuhaus and Yuri Tillemans, but Liverpool's curiosity in the Scotland International will likely surprise many of you guys, the Liverpool fan base. A potential move for John Mcginn, who is 26 years old, could very well be put off by the asking price from Aston Villa, which according to the Athletic would be around between 40 and 50 million pounds. And the journalist added, still the interest from Liverpool in John Mcginn is very real. In 2019, an impressed Jurgen Klopp said, "John Mcginn, what a super player he is." Liverpool's manager has been further encouraged by what he has seen from the Scotland International since. Yet interest in a player is one thing, actually moving in to try and sign him and is another. But John Mcginn, we can definitely put him on the Liverpool transfer list as well. So if we are going to replace Wijnaldum, we need to spend big money to sign a midfielder. So spending 40 to 50 million on John Mcginn wouldn't be unthinkable by Liverpool, but it would be a little bit surprising because John Mcginn doesn't score a lot of goals, but he's an all-round very good player with bags of energy. He's a really hard-working player, and you know, Wijnaldum wasn't the goal-scoring midfielder at Liverpool. He's the goal-scoring midfielder at the Netherlands. He already has 3 goals at the Euros, but at Liverpool he had a different role. So if we sign a direct replacement, that player will have a similar low role to Wijnaldum. And John Mcginn is a very durable player. He started off his career at St Mirren in 2012, and then he signed for Hibernian, where he played even in the Scottish Championship, which is the 2nd division in Scotland, and then they got promoted to the Scottish Premier League, and then Aston Villa signed him, and he played 44 games when the Aston Villa were in the Championship. He scored 7 goals, which is pretty decent. Even at Hibernian, on average he had around 5 goals each season. And then at Aston Villa he has 3 goals last season and 3 goals this season that just finished. Last season he played 30 games, this season he played 37 games, all of them in the Premier League. So bar one, he played all of Aston Villa games, which is really impressive. Whether the Aston Villa midfielder is worth the reported fee is up for debate. Realistically, we should be investing a more than reasonable amount into finding an alternative to Wijnaldum, because we relied on Wijnaldum's durability, and John Mcginn definitely has a similar durability to Wijnaldum, only missing a single game for Aston Villa last season. John Mcginn would certainly tick the box for availability. However, a long-term contract at Aston Villa means that we will have very little leverage to encourage a more affordable transfer. So basically that means Aston Villa can ask for a big money transfer for John McGinn, and we can't do much about that. I can't see Liverpool spending 40 to 50 million on John McGinn. I think for that amount we could have Houssam Aouar of Lyon, who could score 10-15 goals for Liverpool. We could even have Florian Neuhaus, maybe even Yuri Tielemans, although I think Leicester would ask for 60-70 million for Tielemans, but for like 40-50 million we could easily get Aouar or Neuhaus. And James Pearce also wrote, manager Jurgen Klopp wanted to know whether John McGinn ever stopped running on a match day. It sounds funny, but the German was serious, so much so that he asked the question to his Scotland left back Andy Robertson, who knows McGinn well from international setup. And Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of McGinn. He loves a player who never stops running, who never stops working. And of course the player's output, so how many goals they have, how many assists they have, it's directly linked to how players are used within the system they are deployed in. That's why Wijnaldum wasn't as effective in terms of goals and assists at Liverpool as he is at the Netherlands national team, because at the Netherlands national team Wijnaldum is used in a very different role. And John McGinn, what kind of player he is? He's like the midfield version of Andy Robertson. He just never seems to stop running. Watching him against Croatia, it felt like he was everywhere. McGinn gives off serious James Milner vibes in that regard. The former Hibernian man is also an open play goal threat with expected goals per 90 minutes average of 0.1 in the Premier League across 2 seasons. That average is even more impressive when you consider the fact he has played in multiple roles and positions for Aston Villa. McGinn has fitted between playing as part of a 2 in a double pivot and playing as the more attack-minded number 8, so an attacking midfielder. There are 2 sides to his game, similar in many ways to Wijnaldum at Liverpool. He will ignore his attacking tendencies to assist the team defensively when required. However, when he is required to attack, he is a threat. McGinn is in the top 20th percentile for shot creating actions and completed dribbles. He is press resistant and he is progressive with the ball. His pressing numbers don't look great. This particular metric is closely tied to the system the player is deployed in. Just because he's not posting Thiago numbers doesn't mean he doesn't have the capacity to do it. Aston Villa just play a different system to Liverpool. So McGinn is 27 years old in October. So it doesn't mean he's old, but Liverpool do tend to target young players with the potential to improve. The younger they are, the easier it is to spread the risk. The club can give them 6 to 12 months to get up to speed with the tactical demands. If McGinn needs a year, he will be pushing 28 years old. You are looking at 3 years before you need to look at finding players who could succeed him. Liverpool usually plan for the long term. This would be a short-term signing. Then there's the price. His current deal expires in 4 years, so Aston Villa aren't in dire need of money. And Jack Grealish, he could be off to another club this summer. It would take a huge bid to get McGinn away from Aston Villa. But his salary, which is like £25,000 per week, it's a fraction of what a normal salary is at Liverpool for a starting 11 player. And also McGinn has abundance of Premier League experience. It might make Liverpool attempt to sign him, but I wanted to give you an all-round picture of what McGinn is like as a player and whether it's worth pursuing him or not. Ultimately, it will come down to what the price is and how much Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of McGinn or not. And even though it looks like Liverpool have blocked the Salah going to the Olympics, the Egyptian FA, the president of the Egyptian FA is pretty adamant that Salah will still try to convince Liverpool to let him go to the Olympics. He said, "I do not want to say that it is impossible for Salah to participate in the Olympics, but it is difficult. Salah agreed to lead the Olympic team during the last camp of the Egyptian team. We contacted Liverpool to allow Salah to join the Olympic team, and they said they were waiting for the approval of the technical staff, but in the end Liverpool refused the request because they do not want to lose the player at the beginning of the season as well as next January with the Africa Cup of Nations, which will keep Salah from participating in the Premier League matches. We spoke with Salah again, and he told us that he will make a new attempt with the technical staff of his team to resolve the matter, and within the next 2 days he will find a way. So it's a bit of a conundrum for Liverpool, because of course Liverpool don't want Salah to go, but Salah wants to go. He wants to play for Egypt. He's very proud to wear the Egypt jersey, which I can fully understand. The difference between winning the Premier League and not might be that if Salah misses 7 or 8 games of the Premier League season, then it might be pretty difficult for Liverpool to win the title. And Diogo Jota and Thiago Alcantara both managed to qualify to the knockout stages with Portugal and Spain respectively, and I'm really looking forward to the round of 16 of the Euros, which starts in a couple of days. And also Bobby Firmino scores in Brazil's comeback win against Colombia. Colombia took the lead with a great goal to make it 1-0, but then Brazil roared back and they won the game 2-1. The winner by Casemiro was in the 10th minute of stoppage time, which is absolutely crazy. Fabinho and Alisson didn't play in that game, but Brazil already confirmed top spot in Group B, so probably the manager is rotating the team. And also Robertson is out with Scotland from the Euros, but Robertson finished this season having played 5,962 minutes of football. Just think about that. That's like almost 6,000 minutes. That is absolutely crazy. An increase of 20% on his previous career high. During this time, he covered more high-speed meters than any footballer in the world. That is just a crazy statistic. Robertson just never stops, and he needs the break more than most of Liverpool players, to be honest. And I mean, Kostas Tsimikas needs to step up next season, because we can't keep playing Robertson all the time and expect him not to get injured. So I really hope that Tsimikas can play a more prominent role next season for Liverpool. And that's it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.